Gotcha.
All right. And I also, I got to, I was brought to my attention. Did anybody, how many people noticed that I made a mistake on this problem I have up here?
I noticed. I wasn't even here.
Yeah, he knew. Okay. All right, this problem here. Take a look. What answer did we have down there, Alex? Go ahead and pull out those notes. You got them? Pull them out. Pull them out. Right here. It was right there. Yeah. Yeah. The one that says example one says Maggie earns $9.40 an hour. Okay, take them out. You're gonna write on them. You're gonna write on them. Okay, so fine. You got them?
Yep.
All right. Yes, this one right there. Yep. Well, that's why we keep a notebook. So we keep a notebook. It's you weren't here yesterday. Yep. So you weren't here. So. All right, Maya. Did you go to Canvas at all?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
And what Canvas tell you?
For which one? This one?
Yeah, for this class.
It said that we had homework on that packet thing. I did it on a notebook, piece of paper though.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So take charge when you are absent of your work. And now, can you print at home?
Me?
Yeah, you cannot.
No.
So I wonder how we can get around it. You might be able to email it, like open a document, email it to yourself, or email it to your mom, or like your parent, and then print from there. Okay, if you got a printer at home. So that's the only thing I'm looking at. So when you're absent, so she goes here, section 1, 2, day 3, and then remember everything we got on here. Guided notes. Okay, I'm going to give those to you anyway. So if you can get those printed, that just makes life easier. But if you can't, I understand. I know that.
Do you have the notes from yesterday?
I also have homework from
All right, the notes from yesterday.
Yeah.
There's the notes, and then there's the homework. Is the second page. So you go here. You got guided notes. You got the lesson video, which is basically me up here. You can't see me, but you see the screen and you hear me talking. Class notes are what we went over. Like whatever we did during class. Okay, you'll get that if it opens up here. Which it looks like it might be. And it has everything. And so you should fill in your guided notes. If you can print them out, you should fill them in. I know if you're like got the flu and like you're leaning over a bucket all day, that's something else. Okay. But if you're just not feeling good, you feel better later, you're going to save yourself a lot of headache if you stay on top of it, all the little things, as opposed to here. So right there, I put 9 miles. That was our answer. That's wrong. Because what's 25 minus 14? 11. So it should be 11 miles. So
I
fix
wasn't
it.
here yesterday. It's
Yeah, I know. It went downhill fast. It was really bad. So we'll do that. Oh, we got one in here. So you got that. Where'd it go? The homework worksheet, because it says extra practice worksheet 1 through 12. So she said she couldn't print it. She did them on another sheet of paper. Stay ahead of the game. Okay, good job for that one. Anytime you're absent, like, once you feel better, once you go there, get your stuff, stay ahead of the game. Okay, don't come back here and say, I haven't done anything for 4 days. Make sure you do that. But I wanted to go through these notes, and then we will go through your homework as well. All right, it says, use a table to find the number of miles we need to bike on Friday, so the mean is 5. Mean is the average, so you average 5 a day. So we set that up. We said, all right, we take 3.5 plus 5.5 plus 0, even though we didn't do any on Wednesday, we add that in. And then Friday, we don't know what Friday is, so we put in an X there. And when we do the average, you divide it by the number, which would be 5. We happen to want that to equal 5 on the other side. We said we can add those all together. And what did we add those all together to get? 14, right? So we said this is 14 plus X divided by 5. If the average is going to be 5, okay, this has to work. How do we get rid of that 5 on the bottom? Okay, we multiply it by both sides by 5. Good. So I'm going to do that. And those cancel, and you're left with 14 plus X equals 25. Subtract 14, and I get X equals 11.
That was 9.
Dang it, I did it again. No, I did it right. X equals 11. So make sure we fix that. So it's 11 miles. All right, now we set up the next one. I said try to do it on your own. We didn't get all the way done. Perimeter, all the way around. Perimeter all the way around. And then you got a rectangle. So you got to know that this side over here is going to be the same as the Y, and then this side over here is going to be 3/2 Y. We're going to add those all together. And we said it equals 150? Okay. 150. All right, well, 3/2 is 1.5. Whether you enter it as 3/2 in your calculator, you enter it as 1.5, that doesn't matter. But what do we get when we add those all up? What's 3/2 plus 1 plus 3/2 plus 1? And when we're done, Ellie, did you get that? Did you have them all up?
No, I haven't.
Go ahead and do it. See what you get. Use your calculator. You're allowed to do that. All right, and then Lucas is going to tell us what did you say?
5-1.
He says 5. Okay, I think he's right. You're going to check it. Because that's 1.5, 2.5, 4, 5. I think it's 5. Do you agree?
I haven't done it, but I can still try.
Okay. Well, you be my checker. And so in this case here, we divide by 5, and looks like I got Y equals 30. And what does the question ask? What are the dimensions of the flag? All right, now if you just stop right here and you just go on, I got to count it wrong. Okay, because you didn't answer the question. What does dimensions mean? Okay, do we know what that means? Okay, Jeff.
I don't know.
So you basically don't know what it's asking.
Is it the entire perimeter around the flag?
No, that's not dimension. So here's the case. You may not understand the wording of the question, so we got to answer that first. Ava?
One of the ones.
We need the length and the width. Basically, the dimensions of the flag are how wide it is, okay, and the length and how tall it is. Okay, what would be our answer then? What would be our answer? Does anybody know the answer? Final answer then? For this question. Okay.
45 and 30.
It says 45 and 30. So this is how you word dimensions. Like dimensions, you say like 10 by 15. So you would say 30. Hold on here. The dimensions are 30 by 45. And that's kind of how you read that. You would write that in terms of dimensions. Or you could tell me the length and the width. This is going to be 30. 3/2 times 30 gives you 45. That's where that comes from. So key thing is anytime you're solving one of these problems, you got to answer the question. Okay, you can't just set up something, your teacher set up and then just put that answer, stop. You may have to go further. So this would be our final answer, 30 by 45. Got it? All right, flip it over on the back. Okay. This comes out a little bit fuzzy. This is actually one of the problems out of your book. It's one on the homework section. And this is something that we're really going to start kind of hopefully hitting a little bit harder. Justify each step. Now, here's the problem is they don't necessarily, like, we write out like everything from top to bottom, which makes it easier to see. Sometimes you'll see this and you have to tell me, what did they actually do to both sides to get to the next step? And that's what we're going to write down. That's going to go here. So can anybody tell me what actually happened from this step to this step so that I could write that down? All right. And let's see, does that, Taryn, does that make sense, what I'm asking? Do you know can you tell me what they did? Can you tell me the differences? How about right here? You look right here along this equal sign. In between this first step and this second step, on the left-hand side, what's different? Between this one and this
What
one.
they get rid of.
So there's no -1 here, right? What's different over here?
Change the 6 into a 7.
Okay, so what are our rules? What do you think? How did that happen? Okay, how did that happen? Anybody? What did they do?
Added one on both sides.
Added 1 on both sides. So what happened when you added 1? See, they don't show it, which I don't like, but you still need to be able to answer this type of question. So they added 1 here, so they got rid of that, and they added 1 here. So justify each step. So you're going to say add 1 to both sides.
Did anybody put addition property equality?
We didn't do it yesterday.
Oh, you didn't?
This is the first we've seen it.
Okay.
That is the addition property of equality. And then when you get more into proofs like next year, or maybe even later this year, I got to see what.
Look at we did that the first time. That was the first day. That we did.
Well, we talked about it and they know it, but all they want to know is this, like when they're answering, which is I think is okay. So now, all right, what's going on between step 2 and step 3? What's different? What's different? Okay, can you see anything that's different? Okay, hopefully you can't, Mason.
Step 3 has a 8.
Has what?
A -8.
Yeah, but right here you got a -8 there. See, I got a 5x minus 8 here. I still got a 5x minus 8 here, but what's missing?
The -1/2.
-1/2 is gone. What happened over on the other side? This was a 7.
It turned into a -14.
Turned into a -14. What did they do? How'd that happen?
They multiplied by -2.
Good. Now I'm going to show you what they did. You don't need to write that down, but they multiplied this side, both sides by -2. So multiply. Good. Multiply both sides by -2. Okay. Do you want to do that? All right. What happened in between step 3 and step 4? You got to notice the differences. What are they doing? Okay. Zach?
They added 8 on both sides.
Yep, there's a +8 here. They added 8 and they added 8. And then that gives us 5x equals -6. So add 8 to both sides. And now the last thing is, and it seems obvious, we still need to state it. What are they doing? Okay. They're dividing both sides by what?
5.
By 5. So divide both sides by 5. So divide both sides by 5. So you need to be able to take a look. All right, how is each one different? All right, look at that next one. Now this one goes through a little bit different. You got the original equation. Now usually I'm going to go through this because usually we jump from this step to this step. I don't make you write that step. Okay, what property did they just use there? Okay, what's going on there? Do you know what property, Damon?
They distributed.
Yep, distributive property. So distribute the 2. So distribute the 2. Now here's what they're going to, this is all we're going to say is they just made this 2x and they took 2 times 3 is 6. Simplify. That's all that means, it's simplify. All right, what's the difference now? Right now, we just got -9, -9, -9, -9. We haven't done anything to that right-hand side. Everything's the left-hand side. All right, what actually did they do on that from the next step here to here? Okay, Ava? They combined like terms, and that's exactly what you want to put down. They took 2x plus x and made it 3x. So they combined like terms. All right. What do we say at this point? Add it?
Minus the 6 from the -9.
Yep. Now, if it helps you, you can draw that in there. If that helps you. But I'm going to say subtract 6 from both sides. And the last step. Okay, the last step. Alex, do that.
They divided 3 by 15.
Okay, divide both sides by 3. Okay, if you can put this down, that's really going to help you understand what's going on. All right, here's what we're going to do. I want you were asked to do 1 through what?
12.
1 through 12. Okay, you're going to do, I'm going to hand you the answers here in a second, but you're going to do 13. And 14 is kind of a challenge problem. I want to see if anybody can get it. Show me the algebra, see if anybody can get it. 14 is a little bit of a challenge. We didn't do an example like that one. I'm going to hand out the answer keys now for the rest of the work. So check your work and do 13 and 14 as well. And I want you to mark how many you missed. Okay, out of those 12 at the top.
I did homework too.
From the one you missed? All right. And then and we're going to come by and then I'm going to check the homework as well. You just start this. Okay. And then check. Here. Here. All right. Check through there.
Okay, first thing you need to do, you don't want to do that. You gotta get rid of first. I want to do more. It's like this. Only one for the negative.
Okay. So. It was 20. Multiplied by 23 to 25. Make sure you.
Oh, I had to do 25.
Right, I'll give you the
So G plus something.
okay. And that's one of your 2 ways. Okay, now you finish it. All right, you should grade it. Okay. Dylan, how are you doing on your stuff? Set it up right. So just see how you keep track of it. It makes okay. Like you be
First thing you want to do is
you're trying to you need to make it a little bit easier for you, but throwing it together.
add some subtract.
A couple of steps at the same time. Draw that line all the way there.
Draw a line.
So that
Once you
I see 21 feet. So it's right here. See how
Draw lines on the other
it's
side.
and then you bring that
Now
down.
write the minus 4 out of this.
Equals whatever you get there. So you kind of make that.
So it's what? T divided by negative 3. No. Right like that.
All right, negative 11 plus 3.
Equals what?
Negative 8.
Okay, what's going on between the T and the negative 3?
Okay. Go back to work as well.
Nope. That's T divided by negative 3. Okay, so we shot to the division.
Well,
Okay, so we want to multiply by negative 3 on both sides. So put in parentheses right there. Yeah. Okay, so cross that out, there you get T. Cross it. 3 out, okay. And what's 4 times negative 3?
now here, normally we don't write this down.
Equals.
Negative 2.
Yep. And then rewrite it with the T over here.
All they did there was actually
That's it. You did check it. What's T divided by negative 3? or 12, I'm sorry.
Now,
Negative
let's
12.
do this.
What's negative 12 divided by negative 3?
Where did they go?
4. Then what's 4 plus 4?
8.
There you go. Get out of your right. So on this one, I would multiply both sides first by negative 2. And then you want to subtract 5 on both sides. How are you doing? You okay? Huh? Alright, now when you do that,
They subtracted.
so,
Actually, we always want to know ways to- so what would you normally do? Just think about what you
materials cost. Okay, labor is this much hour. They want to know how many hours.
Sorry, I just wanted to get this
Well, that's how much it costs an hour for labor, right? I mean, how many there is, what's the cost of materials?
No more, sorry.
You're going from here, what did they do with this?
Those are.
Layer
Does
two.
that make sense? This is what.
When Addie gets back.
Alright, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it is, that's the total.
This is on Fridays.
Oh, I remember sitting there.
The total cost of the case. You ever thought out a couple, you missed the quiz too, man, $16. Yeah. Maybe you took, I mean, I think so.
Is that 3 algebra 1, we got body like terms, and order of operations? I'll have to look, I might have it in the grade. For some reason, I think you took it, and I just didn't write it down.
Yeah.
Oh, the back. $16. You want to start off with 16 X. Right, that's the end. So it'd be 16 X. I just put up here. No, I didn't. I got that one
Do you understand why? Are you? Yeah. Do you understand why? Good. All right. Appreciate it back now. All right. So give you 6 for that. What'd you get?
Wait, I have a question.
Whoa.
You got a question?
Okay, so $10. What's the difference? So 80 difference.
Subtract. Just subtract.
I thought it was divide for a second.
What's the total for the? Yes, you have, you still have the first. You have it.
Okay, so then write your pass by next year. Okay, is that, is that?
Plus, how much do you order?
Lucas. Yeah.
Hey, what's my first name?
Oh, Lord, for not writing the other one, to help you out a little bit. Where are you, Mason? Go ahead and put them up on that table.
Aiden. Carly. Jen is absent.
All right, any questions here on how on that practice? Okay. All right, now, and well, here's what I'm going to do. Is typically, majority of the times when we got a quiz or a test, I'm going to give you a practice quiz, or I'm going to give you a practice test. It is going to be in basically the exact same format as the quiz and the test. So if you know how to do every problem on here, you'll know how to do every problem on the test. Anything you don't know how to do, then you need to ask, we need to go over. Well, I'm going to hand it. Here's what I also want you to do is I want you to keep out that homework you just did, and I'm going to try to get to as many people as I can and see which ones you missed so that I can go over them with you individually. But for now, you're going to start, you're going to work on the practice quiz. Whatever you don't get done is homework. And you might get done with this in class, and then we will go over it right at the beginning of class tomorrow. But keep out that homework because I want to go over that individually. Now, some of these might seem really easy because they're from the first section, and hopefully they are.